Speak Life Church Incorporated presents If I Died Tonight. When I was in my mid-20s, I got a chance to go to a family reunion, and I was excited to meet and see all my cousins. Excited to see and share all the experiences I'd had since 17, since I left home. I'd managed to enlist into the Marine Corps and get stationed at Parris Island and Camp Pendleton, California, serve in a U.S. Embassy in Brazil and in England. I had seen stuff that this country boy had never witnessed before, and I was excited to share it. The sad part was, in my enthusiasm, in my story, my family looked at me as if I was bragging, if I was putting them down. And by sharing my experiences, I was being uppity, arrogant, a braggart. It hurt me. It hurt my feelings because that was not my intention. Mixed in there were some stories where I had done some stupid stuff, or I had survived some things. I had only by the grace of God that I am still here. So I was excited to share all my foolishness, all my joys. But something that I learned early is that people don't want unsolicited advice. And as I got older, I continued to do some amazing things. I've had a great life. But if I died tonight, I want to be able to be satisfied that I have shared as much as I could to help somebody else. If I died tonight, I want to make sure that my living was not in vain, that being a test tube dummy for so many things was not in vain. I know unsolicited advice is not really wanted. Truthfully, it is all about me. I want to make sure you don't kill yourself. It's all about me. I want to give you hope in a snarky, sarcastic, apathetic, cruel world. It's all about me. I want you to know that you matter to me. I want to encourage you. I want to help you. I want to make you smile after you've been crying. I want to use my voice to soothe you. I want to share my gifts of podcasting, ministering, listening, using social media to let you know that life is still worth living. In 2007, I created the Urban Shooter podcast, which became the Black Man with a Gun show. And over the next 13 years, in almost 700 episodes, I've talked to over 200 movers and shakers. I've managed to get a whole studio built from donations and support. I've learned about marketing and a whole bunch of stuff. But in the midst of that, I also met some really cool people who had some struggles. And in the struggles, I found out that I also had another job, and that was to lend my voice, lend my ear, lend me to help them. Now, as time has gone on, I've created almost 13, 14 other shows that have come and gone. There's a couple that are still around. And then the other kicker is that I'm also a minister of the gospel. So as I got my life together, as I am slowly becoming a good person, a satisfied person, a person who feel like they got themselves together, I learned that it doesn't mean no good if I don't reach out and help somebody else. Now, I've done some great things in my lifetime, but I just want to help one more person not to give in to that battle within. So I got this show, positive, encouraging, thought-provoking. And it's powered by the mantra of the character from Hacksaw Ridge, Corporal Desmond Doss, where he just said, Lord, let me get just one more. Now, I know the world doesn't like positive stuff, so I ameliorated the choice of the title to turn the negative into the positive. If I died tonight, and I'm hoping it works. I just want to save one more. I've been in a lot of situations where friends have called on me to help them, to listen to them, to convince them to continue. So I'm focusing that energy, that history, those experiences to get just one more. I know I could be doing a lot of other things, but I feel that I'm called to this. It'll get better if I continue. Now, I know some people are trying to make money through podcasting and blogging, and I'm kind of giving up on that, truth be told. I just want to make a difference with people. When I was thinking about this whole thing, my mind flashed back and is still remembering people that have put me in a situation where I had to help them. I'm probably at number 10 right now of folks who are in crisis. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not anybody special. But Lord, let me help just one more. That's what this show is about. And then I'm also reminded, and I used this before, the story about the kid at the beach, which I love the beach. There was a big storm that happened, and it blew a whole bunch of stuff out of the ocean onto the beach. And early in the morning, this little kid ran on the beach, and he saw thousands of starfish stranded in the sand. And he reached down, and he grabbed one, and he threw it back into the ocean. And he reached down, and he grabbed one, and he threw it back in the ocean. He just kept on going. He was at it for hours. And this guy was walking and saw the little kid. He said, man, what you doing? He said, I'm just trying to save this starfish. And the guy looked around, and the little kid hadn't put a dent in the number of starfish that were stranded in the sand. And he says, man, what you're doing doesn't even matter. And the little boy walked up to the guy and looked him straight in his face, and then looked at the starfish, looked back at the man, and he says, sir, it matters to this one, and throws it back into the ocean. So I'm not sure where this podcast is going, but I'm letting you know that you matter to me. If I can encourage you, if I can share some motivation, some inspiration, some words of encouragement from my mistakes, stuff I've seen, stuff I'm gone through. And some of this stuff is just questions and answers about life. How to keep going when life happens. What do you do when you're too old? What do you do when you're too young? There's no shame in any of this stuff. The sad thing is that not too many people focus on the positive. Share their mistakes. Show where they've screwed up. We've all failed and fallen through separations, divorces, births, marriages, new homes, money trouble, new jobs, workplace stress, retirement. A lot of stuff has gone on. It's not always going to lead to thoughts of suicide. But if I die tonight, I want to make sure that I share as much as I can with you. This is still a work in progress, but the transcripts, the written word, and any extra stuff can be found at kenspodcast.com. That's KENNS podcast.com.